Welcome to Wilderness Conversations, the Woo Woo series. We are back live on Spiritual Events Directory and bringing into the space each and every week a fabulous, gifted, talented, skilled woman in wellness, spiritual, holistic, alternative business. And this week it's Carolyn King from Empowered Happiness.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. We need a little, I feel like, we were just talking about your husband being a photographer. We need someone that, ask him if he's got any buddies that can create a little jingle for us. I feel like we need a jingle, don't you, Carolyn? Like coming into, on the radio, we have our, Spiritual Events Directory audience. You know, we have a radio show as well on KC Radio, 97.7 FM every Tuesday. 3 to 4 p.m. We'd love you to come, to tune in, listen online or tune in. But we'd love you to come on that show as well. And, leading into the show, Carolyn, as you know, because you've been on the radio with me, that we've got that lovely little, jingle. It'd be nice to have a little jingle here on the Woo Woo show as well. And not to forget that Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series, is brought to you by our wellness community, and it is sponsored by Spiritual Events Directory. But Carolyn, lovely to have you here, darling. Now, you are a kinesiologist. Let's do a little intro.
I'm a kinesiologist. I'm an meditation practitioner, Reiki master, lightworker master practitioner, lots of things.
Beautiful. And you just cut out for another bloody split second there. So kinesiologist, Reiki master,
lightworker practitioner, master lightworker practitioner, which is just spiritual, all things spiritual. MBIT coach, which is all about aligning the three brains we have, the head, the heart and the gut. Mindfulness coaching, meditation facilitator. I sort of have a bit of a mixed bag of everything because I love everything woo-woo.
Yeah, and like me, you've been on the road for, the wellness journey, the spiritual path for some time. And, like all of us, you found along the way a whole bunch of tools that's helped you to overcome anxiety, depression, and get yourself, you pulled yourself up, didn't you, into a new level of awareness and understanding. And from there, you haven't looked back.
Absolutely. So, at the end of 2012, I hit rock bottom with depression and chose to work through it naturally. That was just my choice at the time, and used meditation and kinesiology to really see what was going on. And it took about a year, in all honesty, to get through that with natural therapies. But I'm here now, and that was, the end of 2012. So I haven't looked back, and I've been happy and getting happier every day.
I know, and you're so on purpose. You're all of the above in terms of healer, and so many fabulous tools in your kit. But also a powerful leader and speaker and community builder. You're building you've got a very fast-growing space as well on Facebook, and and you're always in there and on there, and just spruiking and spruiking wellness all the time. So much motivation and energy and capacity. Who wouldn't want what you've got?
Well, I just want to share the love. I want to share the happiness. We all have happiness inside us. We just sometimes need to be reminded on how to reconnect with it. That's all.
We do. And I love your little catchphrase for your business. Happiness.
Yes. Happiness starts with a smile, and empowerment starts with a choice.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, we've got a special surprise for everybody out there in Spiritual Events Directory land. With the Woo Woo series that it's conversations that are unique, unusual, and it's all about the unknown. So Carolyn's got some spooky, ghosty stories to share with us tonight. And what else are we unveiling? What else are we revealing? What little surprise do we have for Spiritual Events Directory tonight, Carolyn?
Well, this is the first place I am announcing this. This is something I've been working on for quite a while, and they are kinesiology cards. So what they are, a deck of cards. Now,
yay!
These are so I've had to play with them for a while. They're going to look like this, so I'm not sure how well you can see that, but they will be a deck of cards of around 60 kinesiology movements or pressure points. You can pull a card and you can see what you may need to ask, what question you need to ask yourself, and what you need to do to help clear that energy. So I think they're a first. I haven't seen them anywhere else, but they will be available in a few weeks. So I'm so excited.
I know, it's so exciting. And I'll just put a little note in there to all of the audience watching us this evening. Firstly, thank you for joining us. We love that we've got some fans that join us each and every week between 6 and 7 here on Spiritual Events Directory page. We'd love to have more regular followers. Tell everybody and anybody about it that would be interested. We seem to be breaking up a little bit and freezing in spots and spaces there, Carolyn. So if we do, sorry about that, everybody. Carolyn did break up a little bit there, talking about her new Kinesi cards. You called them, it's kinesiology cards, but you did call them Kinesi, and I went, oh, I love Kinesi. Kinesi cards sounds it's very catchy. So Carolyn is unveiling her, her own creation, her own cards. We're going to be Carolyn will be using her cards to do some quick one-card readings for you ladies. So comment if you want us to draw a card for you. Also, at the same time, as we talk, as we give you these quick little mini readings, what we'd love you to do is go and join Carolyn's community. It's on the link on this post. Go and join her community. Let us know that you've done that, because towards the end of the show, we will be giving one, maybe two of you. One might get a bit more of a reading from Carolyn. One might get a little bit more of a numerology reading from me, okay? So you're only going to get that, though, if you've liked our pages and you let us know that you've liked. Carolyn will keep an eye out on hers, and then we will give you do a little more, we give a little more, and beautiful giving and receiving and returning of energy there for all of us. So Carolyn, let's start off with a ghost story then before we go to a reading. What when we say ghost stories, what kind of springs to your mind?
A couple of years ago, I went to the haunted boys' home in New Haven at Phillip Island. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't.
I think it's closed now. It was derelict for a while, and I think someone's bought it, so you can't go there anymore. But it was a home where not very nice things were done to boys in the early 1900s. And I walked into, at the back, there were two rooms that clearly, it felt like that's where they put the naughty boys, so they were punished in these rooms. And I went in there and I did a Facebook Live, and I couldn't last more than a minute. I think I was in there maybe a minute and a half, and I had to get out of there. And when I did that live, I had a girlfriend of mine message me and say, Carolyn, there's a spirit in the back of your shot. And I actually have that photo here because she screenshot it. So I'm not sure if you want me to share my screen and share that.
Yeah.
But I did prepare it. So
can you share? I don't think you can share. Can you share if you're not do I need to make you a host?
Okay. No, can you see it now?
Oh, I can, yes.
So back here, there was a spirit behind us. Now, this is a screenshot of a moving video, so it may be difficult to see.
Yeah.
The longer you look at it, the longer you can see a boy in the background, in the top right. So that scared me even more, even though I felt it when I was there. But it just, when you said spooky, I thought, oh, that's probably the spookiest story I've got that scares me. The rest of them are sort of, oh yeah, a ghost walked past me. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing.
Yes. It's such a shame that it keeps freezing. Does it keep freezing on your end with me as well?
Yeah, it is a little bit, yeah.
Look, Claire, every time you and I come into a session with these bloody ghosties, so, do whatever, do some Reiki and clear that stuff, man.
Oh, come on, ghosts, let us get this out.
Get it out. Right. Oh, we've got lots of lovely ladies watching us and lots of ladies looking for a reading. So I'm going to try and start at the start. Let me have a look. It's so it can be so hard to keep to know. Okay, let's start with Moira. A reading would be so appreciated. No particular guidelines around that. So for Moira, you pull a card, Carolyn, as you're doing that.
Yeah, I did pull a card.
Wonderful.
So for Moira, it's about, what I want to ask is, are you feeling supported by life at the moment? And do you need to know if life is supporting you? the meridian which runs up the back. Am I still freezing?
You are.
Ah, bugger.
Okay, keep talking. We'll see what happens.
So this is all about running the, so kinesiology has energy channels in your body. So what I need you to do is run your hand from your tailbone up your back, over your head and to the top of your lip. If you can do that 3 times, and just know that life is supporting you, that you are supported by life and everything is as it should be.
Wow. That was good towards the end there. And Moira, I will pull, I always do, you know, anything and everything that I feel like doing in the moment. Although at the same time, if you go and like my page, go and like Carolyn's page, we'll set aside some special time towards the end where I will do a little numerology, a bit of an extended numerology reading for somebody. And Carolyn will also do the same. I'm just going to pick a card from the 108 tiles. I like these, you know, positive, powerful cards. So this is for Moira. Reflection. All positive and negative aspects that we see in others is a reflection of what we like or dislike in ourselves. Interesting. And then 8 + 3 = 11, and 1 + 1 = 2. So I guess, Moira, you know, out of that, and if you, you know, are on the spiritual path like Carolyn and I, then, you know, what I take out of that, Carolyn, is that every time we are going through something, there's so much to learn in the story of others, isn't there? There's so much to, if you're being triggered, if you've been triggered by something someone is doing or wanting something that someone else has, then if you're wanting that, it's a clear indication that you have what it takes to have that too. And, you know, if you're seeing something in others that is triggering you in that negative way, then, you know, if we actually reverse the perspective on that, for me, it's always helped me to grow better. If I can kind of go, an example would be, you know, someone being bitchy, then it's always helpful for me to go, well, can't you be a bitch too? Aren't there moments when I've been bitchy too? Aren't there moments when I can be? Isn't there someone out there that would say that I can be bitchy too? And then when you do that, doesn't it change everything, Carolyn?
Absolutely. And that's exactly how I operate too.
Yeah, yeah. And then just with Moira, just with the 11, okay? 11 is, you know, really dynamic leadership. The number 11, though, is also double 1 energy, but 1 + 1 = 2. It's such a fine line, you know, to stand on our own, but work alongside others. So again, to me, all positive and negative aspects that we see in others is a reflection of what we like or dislike in ourselves. You could take the lead. When we take the lead in our lives and, you know, try and see things from a different perspective, we're actually doing what most people don't do. You know, don't you agree, Carolyn? Most people, most of us spend our lives blaming others, looking out, and when you do that, there's no control. So 11 might indicate that, you know, take your power back. Take your power back. Whatever's going on around you is not in the way, it's on the way. Take your power back. See how you can get something out of that situation that's going to help you, heal you, change you. And once you've got it, whatever it is that's not working out will just move out of the way. Like the ghost in this,
yeah, in the thing, sorry. I was going to say that's the key to happiness too. Taking your power back is one of the keys to happiness.
Yes, absolutely. I went on a little bit there, Moira, but never mind. Gave you a little bit more there. So that was for Moira, and then we've got, okay, let's pull Moira did say hello and good evening. I hope that helped, Moira. I seem to go on there. Clara, I'm first for a reading. Clara said, okay, well, now that you've arced up and said you're first, we're going to read for you now. Carolyn, you go. You pick a card for Clara.
Okay, I'm just picking a card.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is all about energy. So I'm not sure how you feel, Clara, with your energy levels at the moment. Are you heading towards caffeine? Do you always reach for caffeine drinks, or are you just feeling extra tired? So this is a natural way at any time of the day. So I'm just going to take you through some tapping points really quickly. So we just tap under the eyes, and then we tap just under your collarbone on either side of your sternum. Just give that a little bit of a tap. And of course, these exercises are great for anyone watching if they also feel like they need an energy boost. Then tapping on your thymus, which is just on your on your sternum, just below. And then giving a tap where your bra strap would be on the side. And that is a great way to boost your energy. So if you're feeling like you're lacking in energy, you can do this. It's a great way to boost it naturally, and you don't have that crash that you would have after a sugary drink or a caffeine drink.
Fantastic. Did I freeze when I was talking?
A little bit. Did I freeze again, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger.
Look, we have to apologise to Spiritual Events Directory. We apologise for any of the freezing moments that, you know, where you can't hear whatever's being said in that moment. We're trying to clear the ghosties on this end. We'll see how we go. So, Carolyn, with your, I love your cards. We'll just finish off with Clara. I've drawn the 108 tiles here. Happiness and feeling good are clear signs from our intuition that we are following our true path. How about that? And 5 + 2 = 7. So I'm going to say that a lot with happiness, Carolyn, a lot with happiness starts with trust in ourselves. Trust in the journey, trust that everything is working out exactly the way that it's meant to. And as we just said there for Moira, trust that, you know, good, bad or otherwise, there's something to learn. There's something to learn out of every experience we have. I know from my own journey, and I've certainly had one. So I'm very, very confident in saying that whether it was good or bad, you know, up or down, peaks or troughs, I have enjoyed the happy times in my life, but I've absolutely grown through, I've grown more, Carolyn. I've grown much, much more through all of the challenges, all of the downturns and the disappointments.
I think we continue to grow, though. I think the minute you stop growing is the minute you stop living, really. We're growing every minute of the day.
Exactly. And if you're still alive and not growing, then you're probably going to be unhappy.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So that was for Clara. Clara, I hope that give us some feedback on that. We are, you know, sort of freezing in parts, so it's a little bit awkward. So, Carolyn, within your business, you know, you see clients one-on-one. You also run meditation classes.
I do. I run personal development meditation classes, and we've even had something spooky happen in those classes.
Really? Tell me about it.
So a group with a beautiful bunch of ladies. Well, all the ladies that come to my groups are lovely. But in that particular class, I had a medium, which was really interesting. And
yes,
we could all smell a cake cooking. Now, this was 9:15. Well, the class was on a Thursday morning. So it might have been 9:30, 9:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
No one was in the house, and we could smell cake cooking. Bar one person in the class, and the message was clearly for her. She had a visitor from her grandmother to come and say hi in the meditation class. And it was really funny because we could all smell it, as clear as anything. And
I love that. I love that. I've actually made you a co-host. Click on that. See if you can click on. Did you get a prompt about becoming a co-host? I'm hoping that might change the freezing situation here.
No, I didn't get a notification, but no, but I am co-host. I can see that I'm co-host.
Oh, you're already co-host. All right, beautiful. Let's see if that changes anything. I love that. I love that. That happens to me all of the time. You know, I just kind of sort of think, you know, spirit is in the present moment with me. But I have that all the time where I love when you get that scent, you get that smell of something that isn't actually. There's no evidence for that in the room. How awesome is that?
That was real. It was fantastic. We had a period of about 5 weeks where every week something was happening. Something would drop at the wrong time or the right time, or it was just one of those fantastic groups, and we were working on some deep stuff. It was lovely.
I love that. Well, we've got Debbie Connell. She come quite 30 minutes ago. She said, hi, ladies. So hi to Debbie. Everything's not quite... everything seems to be a little bit delayed here. We'll pull a card for Debbie.
So I have pulled Change Your Perspective.
Oh.
And this is about how you're seeing the world. So there may be a situation that you need to really look at, something going on in your life at the moment. And in this instance, it's purple. So looking at whatever it is in a new situation in a more spiritual way. So if something's going on in your life at the moment, taking a step back and looking at it from a spiritual perspective, remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Another look at the situation may help you get through this situation.
Oh, it's so disappointing that it's freezing all the time.
Oh, bugger.
And ladies, don't put, I see somebody else has, also put, we just read for whomever we are drawn to. It's impossible to keep a tally on all of it, and it's not really about that. We come into the space to share some time, our knowing, our knowledge, our experience, our gifts, our tools, and we try as much as we can to give a little something to each and all of you, and it's not possible all the time to do that. So we go where it flows, and where it needs to go, we trust, which is also, as you said before, Carolyn, if you've tuned into the session, then honestly, ladies, each and every reading that we read, if you are on board and watching us, the reading is for you too. Anything and everything that we say in this in the session, if you are watching us and you catch onto and you come into the session at that time, that message is for you too. So really, technically, everybody's getting read for each and every week, whether it's personal or not. And this is just all the ways, isn't it, Carolyn, in which the universe, spirit, at that soul level, the signs and the symbols are everywhere.
And that's what we talk about in my personal development groups, that
yes,
when you're in a group, just because we're talking to one person, all of them have said we're always here mirroring each other, learning from each other. So every message is always for whoever's there listening.
Exactly. And so you run your classes, I know in real life, but online at the moment, Carolyn?
I am running them on the deadline. So it's been a great night. It was a great night by the ladies and myself, and it was fun. They loved it because they didn't have to get out into the cold afterwards. They could just snuggle under a blanket.
That's fantastic. I love it. So ladies, to join, ladies and gents, to join Carolyn's community, the link is in this post. Carolyn will come, onto the page and onto the post after the reading and can answer some of your questions. Maybe even, we might even draw a couple of cards after the session if we have time to do so. If you want a little bit more of the reading towards the end of the session, we'd love you to go and like Carolyn's page, come back to this post and let us know that you've done that. Okay, we've got J Jam. We will pull a card for J Jam. Love a reading for business and or relationship. Well, J Jam, that in business, it's all about relationships anyway. So Carolyn, I always think that, it doesn't matter what area of life you're trying to grow. To grow any area is to work on all areas all at the same time anyway, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think as an entrepreneur, your personal life influences your business and your business influences your personal life. And really, to be authentic in your business, it has to be who you are. You can't be faking it. And it comes through eventually. So I think they're very, very intertwined.
I do too. Well, I've got Angel Feather Oracle. I will pull one of these, and then Carolyn will pull a card for you as well. J Jam. Let's see what where the energy goes and what it says about either business or relationships. But honestly, it's about the relationship you have with your business. It's actually good news. It's all about new beginnings. So new lifestyle or home. The angels would like to inform you that it is time to commence preparations for a change in lifestyle or residence. So I would take out of that, and as we said before, if you're hearing this, then there can be something in this for you too. So I would take out of that, J Jam, that you are really in the energy. It's all about the energy, and what that in numerology, when we look at your life cycles, we're looking at what energy is in your experience, and what opportunities and challenges are going to be more prevalent during that time, and how you could work with that so you maximize the opportunities and overcome the challenges. So to me, you're in the energy of new beginnings. So, and then when I put that with the number 1, which is all about new beginnings in that phase of new beginnings, we feel more empowered, don't we? We feel really bold, and that's number 1. Number 1 is lead, and number 1 is take charge, okay? So there's absolutely a spot and space in time at the moment to initiate a new beginning. It usually begins in mindset. Don't you agree, Carolyn?
Absolutely. And the card I actually pulled was about the up-down switching, which is all about making sure there's a balance between your primal excitement and bringing the intellectual in, so that there's a balance between the two. And the way to help balance that is just to rub, put one hand on your belly button, and rub like above your mouth and below your mouth, and just giving it a rub. And that will balance that intellectual and the primal emotional side, because when we run a business or when we're in relationships, we need to have that balance.
Absolutely. I'm loving these cards of yours.
Thank you.
I'm loving them, because they actually also give you, they're giving us some insight, and then that insight is leading to a particular part of the body and the brain, and then you're giving us a little tool. They'll actually instigate and initiate that. I love it. It's got that physical component as well. Wow. Well, I hope you like that, JJ. I thought that was great. Oh, my God. Okay. All right, Lisa, you made it in. Lisa would love a card pulled for her. Carolyn, I'll let you go first.
Lisa. Okay.
That was great how that worked.
Is there a question, or was it just a
reading? Just a card, please.
Oh, one just fell out. That's definitely for Lisa. Hang on. What is this card? So this is about what are you not currently seeing clearly, or what are you not seeing through the eyes of joy? What you do about something that you're not seeing clearly, or something you're not seeing through the eyes of joy, while tapping underneath your eyes. And this just helps us to see something that's going on in your life. There may be a situation or something that you're thinking about that you may just need to change your perspective. So giving that a tap, and that will give you more clarity and also increase the way you're looking at it from a point of joy, from the viewpoint of joy.
Wow. Okay, let's see. What have we got here from the angels? Lovers in the air. The romance angels are here to inform you that there is an interesting development about to take place in your love life. That kind of ties in with what you were saying there, Carolyn, in that, what are you not seeing? Because whenever that, for me, whenever something comes to light that was, previously in the dark, life changes. So whatever you're not seeing, Lisa, whatever, and sometimes, Carolyn, don't you think sometimes it can be, I used to hear that a little bit, before I became sort of enlightened in all the ways that I have done since. Sometimes, and I used to hear, you're not seeing something, and I'd be like, when you think you are, you're in the moment and doing the best you can. Sometimes what you are not seeing may be something that isn't here yet. It might be coming.
Yes, and it's opening your eyes to see it when it does come.
Yeah, and it can even be, sometimes I know with me and that whole personal development story that, again, when we go back to that first reading we did at the beginning of the session with Moira, sometimes there's something about me, something about perhaps a belief, an outdated belief or a routine, a ritual that's past its use by date, some pattern or program that I'm running that I'm unaware of, that I'm not seeing. And the minute that comes to light and you go, oh, wow, I didn't realize I was doing that. Oh, I didn't realize the impact that doing that was having on that. And the minute that happens again, which is what enlightenment is, things change. So Lisa, I'm loving that, to me, love is all about that moment when the heart is full again, that moment when the heart feels reassured and when you're sitting in that space of love. I always say that nothing grows in an environment where it's not nurtured and loved. So in that space of love, you can nurture and grow anything. Very positive. Yay. Wow. So Carolyn, what nights do you hold your meditations?
So I hold them on Tuesday nights at the moment, but I am looking at opening up another class over the next few weeks. So if anyone is interested, they can reach out and we can get another group going. And it's fun. It's fun, but it's also enlightening, and we grow. But what I love about it is we do have a joke. It's not all serious. There is a lot of funny stuff that comes up, and a lot of jokes are made, and depending on the topic. But I think it just lightens it up and just brings the love and the levity into it. Because when we're working on ourselves, we don't always have to be deep and serious, and we have to look at the brighter side of life.
Absolutely. You've got to have, well, laughter is still the best medicine, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, let's see who is next in line, ladies, for a reading. Okay, Wendy, HRF Organic Family Farm, Queensland. I have an incurable illness and received bad news this week. Do you see a future? You know, Wendy, I don't market myself as a fortune. I'm not a fortune teller, and I certainly can't see into the future in the way that you would like me to do. That's not me. Is that you, Carolyn?
No, it's not.
No. So we're not here to, we're not fortune tellers in that sense. There's lots of other gifted ladies, though, and other shows within the space here on Spiritual Events Directory where, they may be in a better position or attuned in, to the universe and spirit in that way, and can answer that question for you. The way that I would answer that is that in every present moment, I'm already living my future. Actually, it's funny this has come up because I was watching something today where, and it's been on my mind lately, the whole sort of death thing, and how just in the course of being alive in this lifetime, we have died many, many times. I've already undergone many, many deaths. The Michelle I am now at 55 is very different to 45 and 35 and 25. That Michelle certainly died in order for the next incarnation, next best version of me to be born. So, I'm so, I really feel for you. It's absolutely awful to, and honestly, Carolyn, in every moment of being alive, we're all dying. And the thing is, we never stop to acknowledge that, do we? We never stop to think about that. And we certainly don't consider that if as a people, as spiritual beings living a human incarnation, if we actually thought about and talked about death more often, we could actually come alive. We would be more alive if we actually acknowledge that we're all dying. From the moment you're born, you're dying. We all have an end date, Of course, I must say that, we're both very sorry to hear about your terrible news. And, I've lost family members. I lost my brother at 21. He was only 21 years old. My mum, only 64. It is absolutely a terrible loss that we all feel in the, the hardest ways, don't we, Carolyn? And, I say with grief, you never get over it. You find ways to move past it. You have to feel what you need to feel. You have to go through what you have to go through. And then we have to accept. We have to heal. We have to do whatever we can do in that moment. That's how I sort of work, Carolyn. No matter what's going on, I have to feel it. I have to grieve about it. I have to then reach out, get help, get support, get everything and anything, do anything and everything I can to get better, to heal. But so we can certainly draw a card for now. To see what can we do now. The gift is in the present, honestly. The gift is in the present moment. And that's what I find too, Carolyn, if we go, if you do believe in the spiritual and you go back to Louise Hay, barometer for the, it's called Barometer for the Soul.
That's not Louise Hay, that's a different one. The Barometer book's another lady. That's there is, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and there is a Barometer of Your Soul, which I do have as well by someone Noonan, I think, or I can't remember.
Yes, yes. So, you know, we can go back to that, and we can, and you can kind of have a look. I know Inna Segal, you know, I've got Inna Segal's
I've got hers as well.
Yeah, the secret language of your body. So that whatever we're going through on a physical level, let's trace it back and see what it says, what it shows about the mental, the emotional, the spiritual body, and that level of energy. You know, and let's look at what's within our control. It's not within our control to be wondering and worried about. Let's focus here. And often what I find is in the moment when you do something positive, productive, something healing, then you can change something in the moment that changes everything in the future. Okay, so I can't talk to that, but I can talk to what's happening now. So let's see what you get, Carolyn, and I'll do a message from the angels as well for Wendy. But you know, our heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry that you're going through this difficult time. It's absolutely awful when that happens.
Yeah.
Very trying.
It is. And I just want to send you lots of love and healing at the moment. The card I actually pulled it when we started talking, was, again, change your perspective, but this time the colour orange. So looking at your situation from a more creative way. So is there something you could do that's a bit more creative in your life? I know creativity is healing, and creativity. What did you pull? Was it creativity or no?
She pulled you have healing hands. You have healing hands. The angels acknowledge, Wendy, that you have unique healing talents and abilities. Your magical prowess is required in service. You keep going, Carolyn.
And I was going to say maybe, and I was just thinking they tie in together, because using your healing hands in a creative way, whatever works for you. So I read something last night. I'm reading a book called Mind to Matter, where he was saying that those that really get on with life are those that actually channel their own inner wisdom, as opposed to just consuming all the outside noise and the outside information. So it might be time to tune into your inner voice, and maybe look at your healing hands and how you can incorporate creativity with that, and do some healing for yourself, because we can all do the healing regardless of what's going on. And like I said, my heart and love and light go out to you, and I'm sending you healing energy right now. But yeah, it is a difficult situation.
It really is a difficult situation, and yeah, just to reiterate what Carolyn said then, that honestly, there's so much power within. There's so much power within. Take back your power. We get back to, we were saying that before in a different to somebody else and in a different context, but take back your power. And we only ever have that power, don't we, Carolyn, in the present moment.
Yes, we can
in the present moment.
That's it. And that's funny. We get the power in the present moment, but we need to be in the present moment to access that power. So it's it really is a present moment thing. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Lisa said, wow, thank you. So spot on. For me, Lisa was when you said to Lisa about what she isn't seeing. Wow, awesome. Okay, let's go to Gail. Hello, may I have a reading, please? May I have a card, please, on my situation? Okay, so Gail's going through something. Can we draw a card to give us some more clarity into the situation that she's going through now? And ladies, don't forget, if you go to Carolyn's page, Empowered Happiness, and like Carolyn's page, then we are going to give someone at the end of the session a little bit more. Actually, it might be one person that I do some numerology on, and you'll pull some cards on, and we'll take it from there. But we do need you to actually like her page, like my page, join our community to honestly and absolutely get that return of energy. Giving and receiving, ladies. Right, what have you got for Gail?
Now, it's interesting. I got creativity again, but a different mode of creativity. So this is, whatever the situation is, there needs to be a way of you opening up your creative way of looking at this. And this is all about infinity symbols. So what I found is that if you, can you see this? I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Oh, there we go. Can you see that 8 on its side?
Yes, so, I love that. I love 8.
what I need you to do is just keep doodling the 8 on its side. And what it does is it puts us in a meditative state where we can access that creative side that will give you the answers that you're looking for. So basically, and I do this a lot when I'm stagnated with my creativity or I can't think outside the box, I'll just sit there and I'll just doodle the 8. So going up and out, up and out, up and out. And it gets a bit messy. And sometimes I get creative and I might make a little flower. I don't know if that really looks like a flower right now, but I do sometimes get creative with it. But it's a way of mindfully just doodling to help that creativity, those other messages come through.
That's terrific. And the number 8 in numerology, you know what? Again, the number 8 in numerology is all about power, how we use our power. You know, am I empowered, or am I giving my power away and therefore disempowering myself? Or am I taking power from others and being overpowering? Ideally, we are empowered. So, you know, again, we're not in control of what other people do say be. We're only in control of how we are going to respond, react, how we are going to manage that. So taking back your power, taking back our power, and changing perspective, and really preferring, as Carolyn said, to sit in the energy of creativity, you know, even with Wendy, because again, you know, we can't stop life happening. And I don't know about you, but there was a story, Carolyn, of, I heard this years ago, a lady, you know, the story goes that she lost her husband and her child, and absolutely devastated, as you would be, distraught. And goes to the Buddha and says, you know, I want you to take this pain away from me. And he said, yes, of course, I will. Before then, though, I want you to knock on the door of everyone in the village. And when you find somebody that hasn't lost somebody and hasn't been through this and hasn't experienced this, then I will take the pain away from you. She went and she knocked on every door in the village, and then she knocked on every door in the village after that, and the village after that, and all around the world. And there wasn't a door that she knocked on where death hadn't visited, where, you know, the family within hadn't lost somebody and hadn't been through that same devastation, that same loss. And of course, the moral of the story being that by the time she got back to the Buddha, the pain was gone. Because in hearing the story of others and knowing that, you know, we are all in the same boat, honestly, not all at the same time, but, you know, we all go through triumph and tragedy. We all have things working out, things not working out. We all have heartache and heartbreak, and then love blooms and blossoms again. So there's a lot of power in understanding that life is always going to be the way life is, and it's not without its downturns and disappointments for anyone. And when you can grasp that, I think that's freedom. It's freedom. I'm neither attached to the happy times, but I'm not attached to the bad times either. And I understand that what goes up comes down, but I take great comfort in knowing that when I'm down, it has to swing back up again.
That's the biggest thing I've learned over the last few years, that when I'm feeling down, I know it's not going to last, and I just allow myself to sit in that state and just honour it.
Allow yourself. I love it. As you said, allow yourself and honour it. And expect good luck. Look at that. The angels excitedly ask you to ready yourself as good fortune is on its way. Be grateful and thankful. Expect only the best. So that's the other thing too, isn't it, Carolyn? Expectations. Often we are disappointed not by what actually happens, but by what we expected would happen. So it's, again, another way just to be free. Easy steps to freedom. Go back and check your expectations. And were they realistic?
And sometimes we need to release our expectations and just be in the present moment and just put it out there and say, this is what I'd like to happen, but I'm going to leave it up to the universe for something better. Because if we expect something, maybe we're blocking something better than what we want.
Yes, exactly. So I hope that helped, Gail. I hope that helped. Okay. Ooh, what should we talk about next? Who should we talk to next? Johnny Retro. He's one of our faithful fans. Comes into the space each and every I love that. Each and every week. And usually, Johnny, you get told the same thing about all the new beginnings that are coming. But he does say, wow, I had an owl staring at my house last night. Death to the old. And I love, because I love my dream analysis, Carolyn. I love dream analysis. I love to analyze dreams in, along the lines of Carl Jung's theory, which is on the journey to wholeness. We must meet, accept, and integrate all parts of ourselves. And so in the dream, interpreting it at that level, everything in the dream is me. And then I always love the symbolism of animals. I love how, and you know what, again, Spiritual Events Directory audience, there are signs and symbols everywhere. When you trust in yourself and your journey and you're tapping into your own power as a healer, teacher, leader, you can be anything you want to be. When you're tapping into that, the signs are everywhere. Aren't they, Carolyn? Absolutely everywhere. So with the owl that I love seeing owls. I don't see them very often. What does an owl mean to you, Carolyn?
Well, for me, owls usually mean wisdom, and also they have very, very good eyesight.
They can see in the dark.
Yes, they can, and they can see that mouse in the field from I don't know how high. They've got very good vision and wisdom.
Yes, beautiful. So a really big vision. They can see, again, reminds me of a quote by Richard Bart that I came across in my 20s, which was the clouds. The clouds don't know why they move in such a way at a certain time. And this might even go back, might even be something that Wendy might need to hear. But the sky above it knows. There's so many times in life, again, when we go back to all the challenging times, there were so many times in my life that I didn't know why I was going through what I was going through. But later on, I went, oh, I hadn't gone through that. I wouldn't have discovered that. I wouldn't have been.
The card I picked is actually quite interesting with what we're talking about. So this is all about having a balance between seeing the details of something and seeing the big picture of something.
Wow, Johnny.
And the way to balance that for you, Johnny, is to place one hand on your navel and just under your collarbone on either side of your sternum, there are little notches there, just giving them a rub. And that will help balance up that whole left and right hemispheres of our brain so that you can have a balance between seeing the detail and seeing the big picture, because to move it forward in life, we really need both.
You absolutely need both, and I'm glad you said that. In numerology, number eight is the visionary. Number 8 is the big picture. Number 8 is the general, and he can see the. I don't know why I always do this. It's not as if I ever went to war, or it's not as if I've ever been in the army. But the general can see the whole. Where all the pieces are on the field. And But number 8 is the visionary, that can see the big picture. But you need to have the number 4. The number 4 in numerology is the attention to detail, the one that does the grunt work, the one that's going to put the head down, the bum up, and just take that one tedious step after another to build the big foundations. Nothing worth having builds overnight. Everything is one brick at a time. That could be the message there for Johnny, as you said. How awesome is that?
I love it. You were talking. Sorry, you were talking, and that card had already come out.
I love it. And then also, the owl with the wisdom, and wisdom is again reminds me of the serenity prayer.
Yes.
And I love this again. And you know what? When my brother died, which was a devastating time for me, it was the first family member, the first person, that I loved, that I lost in that way. I hadn't experienced death of someone close before then. But the first thing that came out of that experience was this prayer, the serenity prayer. Somebody gave it to my parents in a card, and it was God grant me the courage to change the things I can. I think the courage to change the things I can, the serenity to accept the things I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference.
It's beautiful. That is a beautiful prayer, yeah.
And honestly, Carolyn, it really got me through that time. But that prayer, that saying, those words has gotten me through so much more that came after that. It was just a godsend, just a godsend. Okay, well, who else, ladies and gent? Let's see. Okay, let's see if we've got some feedback there, and if anybody has qualified to get a little bit more of a reading from Carolyn and I tonight. Jessica, can you give me a card about my relationship situation, please? Yes, we can. We'll pull a quick card for you now. Reading for you now, Jessica. And thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining us here every week. Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series, brought to you by our wellness community. Our wellness community is a fast-growing space for wellness in body, mind, heart, and soul. Come into that space if you really want a space where you can truly connect. Okay, in that space, it's about connecting, supporting, sharing, collaborating, lots of fun, lots of information, lots of insights. So would love to see you there. What have you got there, Carolyn, for Jessica?
For Jessica, I have got hookups with an affirmation. So there must, this is, so I'm going to ask you, Jessica, is there something you're struggling to integrate into your life? To integrate it into your life, what I'd like you to do is a movement called hookups. So basically you cross your legs one over the other, you bring your arms out, bring them up against your chest. And I just want you to repeat that affirmation while you're breathing in deeply through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And what this does is it relaxes the central nervous system and brings you back in while you're contemplating that affirmation to help you really integrate that. You sit in that state for about 30 seconds and then you unwind your legs, put your fingertips together like that, do the breathing and continue to repeat that affirmation and notice how it feels in your body. Feel it really integrating into all your organs, your cells, whatever it is that you need to integrate into your life. So it may be an affirmation or it may be a belief or it may be an experience. If there's something new that you want to experience in life, that really visualize that. So it doesn't have to be words, it may be an image in your mind. I don't know why I want to add that, so I'm adding that now. There may be an image that you really need to, or an experience or a feeling. You can do that with that same movement to integrate it.
And Jessica's question actually was about a relationship, about my relationship situation, please. So when you talk integration, perhaps there's something that, perhaps the situation is either going to be made better or you know, changed in some way. Yeah. Given what it is that needs to be integrated.
Yeah. So Jessica, she needs to ask herself what she wants out of this relationship and integrate that and allow it to happen. And invite a miracle.
The angels love receiving invitations to be a part of your life. There you go. Ask and you shall receive. And I love that, Carolyn. It's about living in the energy of questions. You know, Margie from Spirit Test says that all the time, you know, live in the question. When we're in the question, then what's happening is we are open to receiving answers, right? But when you're stuck in the problem, when you're stuck on the problem, in the problem, constantly looping around and around with the problem, you're not seeing solution, you're not seeing ways to sort, to solve, to clear, to clarify. So live in the question. What do I need to integrate?
Absolutely. And your brain wants to find the answers. So
yes, I love it.
Ask yourself the question and then let it sit for a couple of days. Sometimes you'll get the answer through a dream. I don't know about you, but I know I've woken up sometimes with just the answer. When I was working in corporate, I remember struggling with things, going to bed, thinking about it, and in the morning I'd have the answer on how to deal with whatever it is I'm dealing with in corporate. But I now apply that to my business. So ask the question and then just see what comes through. And it could be from somebody else. It could be a message from somebody else. It could be a message from a dream. It could be a message by just a knowing. It could come from anywhere.
Yep, absolutely agree. Again, when you're in touch and in tune, when you really understand yourself, when you are in touch with yourself on all those different levels and really trusting in the signs, the symbols, the inner voice, your intuition, okay, the whispers, the impulses, then absolutely. I do that all the time. I never stress and strain and struggle about anything. Something needs to be sorted and solved. There's an answer that needs to be found. Sit with it. Sit in the question. It's just like that. You wake up, as you said, or you go, oh, or someone says something, or you read something, or you hear something, and you go, oh, that's it. That's the one. Okay, we're going to, we've got Jane Williams, and she has joined our communities, and she said joined, and so let's do, Jane, we'd like to, I'd like to do a little bit of numerology for you. Perhaps I just need, I do actually need your full name at birth. If you could just pop that in there, and then I will see what that what shows up and what that says. Okay. Let's see, Carolyn, whilst I'm doing that, can pull another card for some lucky viewer, some lucky audience members.
So I can't see the name, so can you give me someone?
Yeah, I'll give you somebody in a moment. Gail said, thank you so much. Lovely ladies, your energy is lovely. How awesome. Okay, we might go back to, oh, beautiful. Jane has also joined Carolyn's Empowered Happiness. So we'll definitely do a little bit more for you, Jane Williams. Now, just full name at birth and birth date details there for me, if you don't, or you can message that through, Jane, if you want to maintain privacy, and I will do a little something, and Carolyn will too. But we'll just do a couple of quick ones while we're waiting for you to come through. Who have we got? Oh, Belinda. Okay, Belinda's asking, Belinda Cook, please help. How do I know if my daughter's abilities are real? I don't know. Do you want to take that one, Carolyn?
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to see what comes up.
Yeah, see what comes up. And Jay Jam, remember the whole moving house thing, the angel card? Well, he has moved house.
So was it Jane? Who wanted the
No, sorry, that was confusing you there. That was Belinda.
Belinda wants to know if
how do I know if my daughter's abilities are real?
Well, the card I pulled actually suggesting that there's a lot of stress around this. So we need to relax the stress response in your body. And to do that, because when we're stressed, we can't get those messages. You can't have that inner knowing whether your daughter's gifts are real or not. So for starters, we need to, I can't talk now, relax your stress. So what you need to do is rub your jaw points on the side of your mouth and fake a yawn. And what that does is it actually interrupts that stress response in your brain. So once you do that, you're able to hear the messages and have that knowing. So I can't give you the answer on whether it is or isn't. What I like to do with my kinesiology is give you the tools to be able to answer that question yourself. So by releasing the stress in your jaw, releasing the stress in your brain, you'll be able to hear that guidance and trust what comes through for you in regards to your daughter.
I agree with okay, Valerie, thank you ladies for joining the community. We're going to now Jane Williams. I'm waiting for Jane to come back with her details so that we can pull do a little bit more for Jane. We'll just do a couple more quick ones. It's you know, you've got to keep an eye on all this stuff. Oh, that's good. Johnny said, yes, I think it's a positive omen for an owl to visit. It has visited twice in the last 4 weeks. Thanks, ladies. I love number 8. It's 3 3 and 4. Symbolises reincarnation. Yes, the owl is full of wisdom. It sure is. Okay. Jane, I need your full name at birth and birthday details to give you a little bit more insight through the modality of numerology. Carolyn's also standing by as well, but I need to do a quick calculation. So I need you to actually message us or, you know, pop it there in the comments. I can't see anything yet. While we're doing that though, Carolyn, tell everybody where to find you. Where's your website?
So my website is empoweredhappiness.com. My business page on Facebook is facebook.com/empowerkin. And my Facebook group, where I share lots more tools, techniques, kinesiology videos, is Empowered Happiness. So it's facebook.com/groups/creating empowered happiness. So I'd love to see you there. Everyone is welcome. And it's just a happy place. Basically, it's every day I post something motivational, positive, just to get you thinking and hopefully share some tips along the way to help you find that happiness.
Excellent. Well, I've got the numerology deets that I need for Jane. So I'm going to write this out. Now, with numerology, it's all about numbers. It's very insightful, very intuitive. It absolutely gives you some great insight into who you are, where you are, why you are there, what's up ahead, how you got there. Very, very informative when we compile your report and do a reading for you. So what we do is, for every letter in your name, we assign a number, and then we calculate that all up, ladies and gents, and we can give you insight into, what's your life path, what's your, what are you here to learn, to achieve, to do. We can see, what drives and motivates you, what's your hidden passion, what do you like in terms of career and talent and skill, etc. How are you mentally? How are you emotionally? What's your first key? When you're stuck and stale and stagnant, what do you need to do to get yourself up and out of that funk? We can see what's the personal year that you're in. What cycle are you in now? There's the long cycles of your life as well as the shorter cycles in between. Very, very insightful. And then I've got her birth date as well, so I'm going to check out some of your challenge numbers and see what it is that you should overcome. Every time you overcome that, then you exercise more of your purpose. You can express more of yourself. You can pull yourself up into the next best version of yourself. Every single time you chip away more at that ship that's bringing you down. Okay, I don't normally swear, not live on here. So I'm going to do that. And while I'm doing that, you pull a card, do a little bit more there for Jane.
So Jane, the first thing, I did pull some cards when we were talking before. The first thing I want to ask you is, how are you feeling with your energy and your brain? Are you able to think clearly? Because what's come up is polarity. So we all have a positive and negative polarity going through our body. It's just the electrical impulses, but quite often they can be disturbed by the EMF in our environment. So are you carrying your mobile phone on you a lot? Is it near you? Is it near your bed? I would suggest moving that mobile phone away from you when you're sleeping, making sure it's not on you all the time, putting it at a distance. And it could be, if it's not your mobile phone, there just could be the environmental EMFs going on. So what we're going to do is balance that up for you right now. So I want you to place your thumb on your fingernail, and then you've got your collarbone here. I just want you to cross your arms over and just rub underneath the collarbone. And what this will do is balance up your electrical circuitry, your polarity in your body, so that you can think more clearly. So these spots may be a little bit tender, and that's okay. Just give them a rub and then swap your arm so that the other hand is on top. We're creating balance in your body. And then I did pull a second card while Michelle's still doing some calculations there. The next one was thymus tap. So this is another card for tiredness. If you're feeling tired, or is your immune system a little bit sluggish at the moment, what you can do is just tap on your thymus. So tapping on your thymus, which is on your sternum, above your heart area, and you give that a bit of a tap. And what that does is it wakes up the thymus area. It wakes up your energy. It wakes up your immune system. And from a chakra point of view, it's a soul chakra. It helps us access our past lives and integrate what we need to integrate. So giving that a little bit of a tap, just to wake you up. And what I love about these energy points is you don't have that crash that you would normally have from, say, caffeine or sugars. So, Michelle, did you want me to pull another card? Or?
No, that's it. That's beautiful, right? So, Jane, just quickly with numerology, as I said, we can get insight into all those different areas of your life, as many areas of life as there are. Your numerology profile gives us insight into all of that. It's very deep, very in-depth, very detailed. I also have my own program. So I look into, I've developed my own program over the years. I look into 9 key areas of life, 9 key aspects of self. So, just quickly doing your profile, I can see that you're overbalanced in 1 and 9 energy, which is actually good because 9 is all about others and 1 is all about me. So you've got that balance there, right? But you are actually overbalanced with that 9 energy. So then I would say, you know, how do you go with number 9 is very much about helping others. But, you know, do you sometimes help others to the detriment of yourself? 9 can also be very much a people pleaser. And when that's coupled with your second challenge number in life, which is the number 3, then that is the inner critic. And the inner critic is there to help you grow better, right? It's there to help you grow better. You've also got 0 6s. So you've got the inner critic, you've got issues with perfectionism. You've also got a first challenge of 7, which is all about trust, right? So when you don't have that trust within you, then that could lead to, you know, being very distrustful and unsafe, feeling really unsafe in the world around you. And that can actually then sort of come back in on itself, and you may experience betrayal more than once, because what you need to do is actually learn how to trust yourself from the inside out, right? So there's trust issues there. And then with perfectionism, always feeling that you're not good enough, you know, you're not enough, not good enough, clever enough, pretty enough, skinny enough, gifted enough, talented enough, we're not ready enough. So, you know, how do you go with the perfectionism? Because again, perfectionism, the ability to, you know, see beauty in things, to see how things can be better is actually, it's a gift. So the inner critic is there to help you grow better. But until we learn how to master that, we usually allow it to beat us up and keep us down. Okay. And that's why I say with all of that giving energy, you know, do you give to be liked? Do you give to avoid conflict? Because you've got 0 2s as well. With 0 in an individual's name, Carolyn, it means that there's a bit of a karmic story. So 2 in a previous lifetime was insensitive to others. So in this lifetime, Jane, if you find that often people are insensitive to you, it's a return of that energy. And obviously how you would, you know, we've only got time to do a little bit in this session, but to turn that around is to just really get in touch with your sensitivity and to understand that it's a powerful, that's just your superpower. Not when it turns back in on you, not when you become more sensitive to you than to them. But if you become really sensitive to what's going on out there, you'll be able to see through to the heart of the matter. You'll be able to cut to the core of what's really going on, and then you will be able to affect win-win-win situations. Again, with that number 6 as well, if you have more responsibility in this lifetime than you feel is your fair share to bear, it's because in that previous lifetime you didn't take responsibility. So again, in numerology, learning this, Carolyn, is quite powerful because it can explain why you're going through some of the stuff you go through. And then you can kind of accept and allow, and then go, okay, I'm working through some really deep spiritual lessons here. So, yeah, does that make sense? What do you think? I hope that makes that makes sense. And also, there's another karmic lesson there with the number 8. So it's important for you to learn to trust yourself, because trusting yourself from the inside out will lead to better relationships with others. It's important to manage your inner critic effectively. Okay, use it to uplift and inspire. Wherever you think that you didn't do as well as you could have done, then really go back in a constructive manner and work out what you need to do now. If that didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, do I need to learn something? Do I need to change something? Do I need to heal something, forgive something, or let something go to do better? That's how you use the inner critic more constructively and to uplift and inspire. And same with the perfectionism, okay? 6 is about unconditional love. It's not about being perfect and then loving myself. It's about loving myself anyway. And as soon as I do that, I become, and everything becomes perfect. Beautiful. That's about all we've got time for. Thank you so much for joining us, Carolyn. What did you think? Did you have fun? It was your first time.
I had a ball. Thank you so much for having me today. And thank you for allowing me to share my kinesiology cards or kinesi cards.
Okay. It's beautiful. I love them. I love them. And to everyone in the community, you know, if we didn't get to you, we're sorry about that. We'll try and, I might just pull a couple of cards and use my camera, take a photo of them and post them for you. Again, if you want to connect with us more, come into our community. We give away lots of complimentary readings in our own space. We do lots and lots that can really change your life, but ladies, for the better. Mwah. So much fun. See you next week. Bye.